and welcome to the Feeding Babies Solid Foods video series. These recordings are presented to you by the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority Public Health Dietitians, and I will be guiding you through a session on what foods to start with when feeding your baby solid foods. To start off, did you know it is recommended for a baby's first foods to be high in iron? Iron is important for brain development and to help build red blood cells. Babies store iron before they are born, and these stores usually last the first 6 months of life in healthy term infants. Babies grow very quickly, so their iron needs increase at 7 months old. They actually need more iron than an adult male. Iron deficiency anemia is the most common micronutrient deficiency in children under 2 worldwide. This is why the first solid foods you feed your baby should be high in iron. So, what are iron-rich food sources that can be offered to babies? Some options include animal sources, such as meat, poultry, fish, seafood, and eggs, as well as plant-based sources, such as beans, lentils, chickpeas, tofu, and iron-fortified infant cereal. It is important to note that plant sources of iron are not as easily absorbed in the body. When preparing iron-rich sources for baby, there are some things to keep in mind. Remove bones from meat and fish, and the skin from poultry, as they can be choking hazards. Prepare in a texture that is appropriate for baby's age and stage of development. Cook foods so that they remain moist and soft, as dry textures can be a choking hazard. Some ways include boiling, steaming, roasting, poaching, and sauteing. Cook meat, poultry, and fish to safe internal temperatures. Avoid adding salt. Babies don't need extra salt, but you can absolutely use other seasonings for flavor. Also, rinse canned pulses and legumes to remove any additional salt. Iron-fortified infant cereal can also be an easy, convenient option as one of baby's first foods, but is not required. It is recommended to start with a single grain cereal, since wheat is a common allergen. This ensures that if an allergic reaction occurs, you have a better idea of what caused it. Once baby has tried these grains individually, then they can move on to mixed grain cereals. It is also important to follow the mixing instructions on the box. Some will say to just add water, while others will say to add formula or breast milk. It's important to note that the add water types have other ingredients similar to formula ingredients. So it introduces many different ingredients at the same time, like cow's milk. There are a few different ways that fortified infant cereal can be offered. It can be offered plain on a spoon, used in baking, such as pancakes, muffins, and scones to increase iron content, mixed into other foods like yogurt or applesauce, or you can sprinkle it or roll it onto other foods to help increase their iron content. It is important to note that it is not recommended to put infant cereal in a bottle, as this is a choking risk. If you're thinking about making your own infant cereal, keep in mind that grains themselves are not considered iron-rich sources on their own. Infant cereal has iron added to it. It is also not recommended to add your own iron drops to food, as this can be harmful for baby. Here we have an example of a guide that can be used to help get you started with feeding your baby. The goal is to gradually work from offering your baby solid foods once a day to eventually 3 times per day. Once baby is regularly eating iron-rich foods 2 to 3 times per day, other foods can start to be added. Remember that this is just a guide and every baby is different. So, once your baby has started eating iron-rich foods regularly, vegetables and fruit can be added to meals. Most vegetables and fruit do not contain very much iron, but many have vitamin C. Vitamin C can help your baby absorb iron from other foods, especially those plant-based iron sources that are less easily absorbed. Vitamin C foods include tomato, bell pepper, oranges, strawberries, and melons. Remember to keep offering those iron-rich foods as well when starting to add in vegetables and fruit. Some tips for preparing vegetables and fruit for your baby. It doesn't matter which one you offer first. Offer a variety of fruits and vegetables. When preparing the fruits and veggies, prepare them in a way that match your baby's eating abilities. So remove any peels, large seeds, or pits to prevent choking. Also, cook hard fruits or vegetables like apple, carrot, or broccoli to make them softer. You can serve soft, fresh fruits and vegetables like banana, strawberry, pear, or avocado. Vegetable and fruit can be from fresh, frozen, or canned sources. If you're buying canned fruit, look for canned fruit that's packed in its own juice, not in added syrup. Drain the fluid and then you can continue to modify the texture as needed for your baby. If you're using canned vegetables, also rinse those canned vegetables to remove excess salt, or you can look for cans that are low in sodium or have no sodium added. Vegetables and fruits are also helpful for preventing and managing constipation. You may notice that your baby's poop changes color, texture, smell, and frequency when starting solid foods. This is completely normal. Offer fruits and vegetables regularly can help your baby's poop stay soft. Once your baby is eating iron-rich foods regularly, full-fat dairy products such as cheese and yogurt can be offered. Full fat is recommended because babies need that extra fat for their brain development. Health Canada states that whole cow's milk, 3.25% milk fat, can start to be offered as a beverage when baby is between 9 to 12 months, as long as they continue to eat and be offered those iron-rich foods regularly. That being said, there is no requirement to switch to cow's milk if your baby is still receiving breast milk or formula. For formula-fed babies, they are usually able to switch to cow's milk by 1 year old, so you can start gradually introducing it around 9 to 12 months if desired. Milk as an ingredient in things like muffins or pancakes is okay to include earlier than 9 months old. Plant-based beverages and lower-fat cow's milk are not recommended until 2 years old because they don't contain enough nutrients for your growing baby at this stage. If your baby has a cow's milk allergy or if your family follows a plant-based diet, speak to your healthcare provider. And finally, grains can also be offered once your baby is eating those iron-rich foods regularly. Grains are not a high source of iron unless they have been fortified with iron, such as infant cereal. Some ways that you can offer grains to your baby: you can offer them cooked barley, brown or wild rice, oats, bulgur, quinoa, toasted whole grain breads or bagels, soft cooked pasta, couscous, or things like pancakes or French toast. In summary, it is recommended to start iron-rich solid foods around 6 months. This can include meat, poultry, fish, tofu, beans, lentils, eggs, and iron-fortified infant cereal. Once baby is eating iron-rich foods 2 to 3 times per day, other foods can be added such as fruits, vegetables, grains, cheese, and full-fat yogurt. Wait to offer fluid cow's milk as a beverage until between 9 to 12 months old. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to your local public health dietitian over the phone, in person at one of the many drop-in groups across the city, or register for a live virtual workshop. Additionally, please feel free to check out our other videos for different topics on starting solid foods with your baby.